This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with Violent Gentlemen. We're glad to say we're back with the main man, the Iceman, Keane McMahon. How are you, mate?
All good, mate. All good. No complaints.
Here, no complaints. Nobody to listen. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody listen.
Yeah. But obviously it's good for me in a way because, you know, the last time that we spoke, there was 13 years of difference between the two of us. There's now only 12 because you're a year older.
Yeah. 27 now, yeah.
27.
Fucking hell.
Do you feel like 27? Do you feel like 37?
I feel like 57, man. To be honest with you. Running around after a little blade and running around after me little fella and everything else. But yeah, another year wiser, and that's what he say.
Well, I don't know. They sometimes say there's wiser chewing grass.
I take digs in the head for a living, so you wouldn't know, do you know what I mean?
Exactly, definitely not. But obviously it's, you know, like, even I was sort of looking, you know, to see when we last spoke, you know, the first of the island going, Craigie, that was like 3 months ago, and it doesn't even feel like that. I know we sort of message back and forth, you know, nearly every sort of few days, and it's sort of going, it only feels like a month ago, but time flies when you're having fun, I suppose.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
But obviously we still had a laugh and a joke the last time. You know, you're going off your second straight defeat. Obviously since, you know, we last spoke in July, you've picked up your seventh win, and your first one since March 2019. It feels like an eternity away.
It's mad, yeah.
But when you take COVID and stuff in the account, probably the last 18 months and things like that, it probably feels like longer than it really is. You know, like what, 2.5 years?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's it. Obviously, there's mitigating factors as to why I wasn't fighting in them 2 years. Obviously, had a surgery on my nose, and then when I come back, I was out of shape, and it took me a while to get fit. And then obviously COVID, and then I took another hard fight. So I didn't take the traditional route back, what most people do. But to be honest with you, I don't even think about the losses now. I'm just moving forward now, and obviously it's almost like a fresh start, like so. And that's what I'm looking at.
I guess in some ways it's good now. You've obviously a win behind your back. You know, they say you're only as good as your last performance. You know, we hear that a lot in football and things like that, but you're only as good as your last performance. Your last performance is now a win. Obviously, when you're trying to think for positives and stuff at times, you're going, Craig, I haven't won in 2.5 years, whereas now you're going, well, I won last weekend. You know, so it's building them wee blocks back in again. But obviously you were initially supposed to fight last Friday in Luxembourg, but I'm sure probably when the news got to you that Luxembourg was cancelled because the officials had caught in COVID, were you sort of then starting to go, what's going on? I need to get back in the ring, or was it very quickly announced you had to go under the Germany card?
Yeah, so basically, fair play to Conor Slater. He texted me straight away, and he was like, "Look, I've good news and I've bad news." He said, "Obviously the Luxembourg show is off, but I have a fight for you." And I didn't ask anything. I was just like, "Just get me on the show. I don't care where it is." And he was like, "It's in Germany," and I was like, "Yeah, just get me on that." And he got me an opponent.
Did you ask for the good news or the bad news first?
No, I actually can't remember. I was just like, he said there's good, because he sent me like a voice note. And he was like, there's good news and the bad news, and I didn't even get a chance to ask. He told me the good news, then he told me the bad news. So I didn't really have a chance to think. I was just like, as soon as he offered me a fight, I was like, yeah, just get me out. You know what I mean?
Poor Conor, he wouldn't even play the game along and say good news, bad news. Which one do you want first?
I think Conor lives on his nerves a little bit.
He does. I guess the last thing he wants you to do is tell you bad news and then wait half an hour to give you the good news, and it's
exactly.
Like, I'm not speaking to you. You know, I'm waiting for the free Guinness, you know, and everything else was like no fight.
Well, look, come here. If you had told me the bad news and then I didn't go in and wait for the good news, then I probably would have been on the piss, like so. Just as well he did.
Exactly. But obviously now, say your opponent last weekend, you know, on paper, you know, I know you'd sort of spoke to me and sort of said, if I don't beat this guy, that's it. But you know, your opponent obviously on paper isn't strong, but I guess the hope was to get you a few rounds. Were you sort of disappointed with the fact that just once you sort of hit him, he just sort of said no more?
Yeah, in a way. Like, look, I wasn't going to lie to people and say, look, this is a big test for me. I was supposed to win. But I would have liked to get a couple of rounds. We've been working on things in the gym, and to be honest with you, I didn't really step on it in the first round. I started just having a look, and then just tried a little shot to the body, and he didn't want to know. It was a good shot, to be fair. Like I would have dropped most people, but so nailed him, and he just didn't answer the count. He just got up and he was spitting out, and that was the end of it, really. But yeah, obviously when I look back, I obviously would have liked to try some things, but it is what it is, man. You just have to take the W and move on.
Is it one of them where you're sort of going, when it ends that early, you're sort of looking at it and going, why did I throw that shot? Why did I not just sit and hold off on him? But anything can sort of happen in the sport of boxing. Sometimes if you're too calm on it, then all of a sudden he throws a big 1 mil right hand, and the next thing you're seeing stars nailed. And you're going, what's going on?
But that's I looked at his fights now. Obviously he's not great, but I looked at a few of his fights, and he does have a go. He throws back. But I didn't let him settle. I just went out straight away. I just stuck him on the jab, and then tried a few little things, and then I just walloped him to the body, and he was like, "Look, I'm getting paid. See you later." So that's pretty much what happened.
He could probably sniff the beer coming from the bar.
Yeah. I actually had a beer with him after. We actually bought McGregor after. Yeah. Seen him at the bar. Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, sorry for hurting you, mate. Here's a pint."
He's like, "Mate, I'm too old." I was like, "Yeah, have a drink and I'll talk to you later." And that was it, like, do you know what I mean?
So what's obviously next then? You're now 7-2 with four KOs. As I sort of said before we started going live there, you need to update your Instagram to keep everybody updated. Sort of, you have another one then, the record.
It still says 6-2, yeah.
6-2.
I'll have to get me team to look at that, and my Instagram team to look at that,
Instagram team.
And I will get that changed. I didn't even. That's what I'm saying. I don't even care. I just fucking. I don't even be updating my Instagram, to be honest with you. Like, I just post what I post, and that's it. But I will change it. Yeah.
By the time this interview goes up in probably about an hour's time, not even probably an hour, you'll probably update it and all and make me look, as if I'm senile. It's like, what's he talking about?
Yeah, no.
Always was 7-2.
Yeah.
But what's next? Are you sort of hoping to get out again before the end of the year?
Yeah, we were looking at the end of December, maybe. Hopefully get a decent enough opponent that'll take me a couple of rounds. There's a couple of opponents that have been thrown at me, so I'm just waiting to hear back. And then, just get another win in before the end of the year, and then obviously look for bigger fights in the new year. Please God. And
if you're saying late December, it's not after Christmas, it's before Christmas?
Just before Christmas, I hope, yeah. Well, mid-December, yeah.
So you're sort of nearly hoping it's not someone that's going to cause you too much damage because you're not going to eat the Christmas dinner with a sore mouth.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what I was talking to Conor, and he was like, it's actually very hard to get fights in January because they're all on the piss, like Christmas, and they're eating and they're heavy and stuff. So he said it's probably better to get one just before. So if he can pull something out of the bag, praise God, we can get a fight going.
Definitely. And that will obviously be your 10th fight, and your 8th one coming up, so you'll be getting closer to the double digits mark.
That's it.
I know you're not wanting to mention too much, but I think you sort of put like a cryptic sort of thing out the other day to say that you potentially a promoter in the UK looking at you at the moment.
Yeah, a promoter in the UK looking at me at the moment. Been texting back and forth, and he has plans for me. But there's interest. There's interest in America as well. So I'm not going to rule that out. But they're just going to keep my options open, but it's looking good anyways. It's looking some good opportunities on the horizon, so I'm happy with that, yeah.
Definitely. As the interviews are working well then, I think the last time we spoke, you got a new sponsor and obviously
now... all to you, Stephen.
And we're getting new promoters and things like that in the line, If it's Eddie Hearn, I'm definitely taking 10%.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. Absolutely. It's not Eddie Hearn, by the way.
It's not Eddie Hearn, so we'll rule him out then. But I guess it's good things. It's building the blogs. Like I think when we spoke before, you were sort of saying you didn't have a promoter, and I think we sort of laughed and joked to say Conor to get you signed and things like that. So it goes to show you that we think can sort of happen very quickly in the sport of boxing.
Absolutely, yeah. You would one way to see. I don't think people have seen the best of me yet either. Mm-hmm. And I think obviously the boys in the gym and some of the circles that see me training and stuff, I know I'm starting to come into my prime now, and obviously the promoter who's looking at me would have seen a bit of me as well, and he believes in me talent. So obviously it's just about keeping the momentum going, getting the right fights, and then I'll start pushing on. So that's basically what I'm doing. I think I've improved so much since I went to our Rooks gym, and when I went to the gym, Stephen said to me, "Look, the opportunities are going to come because you're good enough." And so just training hard and improving, and now the opportunities are starting to come. So I'm happy with that.
And I think Stephen had actually said the other day on Instagram that he reckons you're the most improved fighter in the gym. So it's wee things like that you can sort of help confidence and things like that, and obviously probably bring more of you out that maybe people haven't seen you in the fights.
Yeah, definitely. I think I think Stephen, because Stephen knew me before and he always knew I was talented, but I just had to add certain things to my game that maybe wasn't there before. And I think I've just learned from boys in the gym, obviously being in a gym full of good fighters, they're only going to get better. And I've just hated everything that he said. I've just listened to him and just followed the process. And I think I've become a better all-round boxer and a better athlete as well. So I'm happy with that, yeah.
Definitely is. And obviously they come back down. You're still going to go back down to welterweight, isn't that correct? From the last time you'd said you were going to go back down to welter.
Yeah, welterweight is so easy for me to make. It's like the way I'm training now. It's so easy for me to make. Like, I mean, the last fight in Germany was supposed to be at 69. I mean, I was eating like a horse for that whole camp, and I weighed in 68 too. So it's really easy for me to make. If anything, what I was thinking, I'm starting strength and conditioning with a guy now next week, and maybe we could actually put on probably a stone of muscle, and then boil down to the way most people do it. So maybe go down that avenue. But the way I'm making welterweight at the moment is very easy, and that's just because I'm always training. I'm always in the gym. So
it's one of them is finding the fine balance, and sometimes as fans probably don't understand obviously so much methods put into obviously making weight. It's like, will you fight at 154? You're a weak 154 fighter because you don't have the strength and the power coming up. It takes a process to do. So like for you to put on half a stone and obviously muscle mass, and obviously then to boil down, then you'll get the best out of yourself at the weight.
Well, I always thought I was a big enough welterweight anyways, but I think I learned a lesson in the Masaudi fight. He was enormous on the night. Like at the weigh-ins, I thought we were the same size, but when he rehydrated and stuff, he was enormous. And I want to be that sort of physical presence when I'm fighting as well, and it'll just add to me skills and me ability already. So, just trying to give yourself every advantage basically. So that's what I'll be looking to do. Yeah,
definitely, it's any advantage you can sort of find in the sport.
Absolutely.
I've sort of come to the end of our questions, but I know obviously one question it's sort of probably going to bring your smile out even more. How great is it to have Ronaldo back at Old Trafford?
Oh, it's unbelievable, yeah. It's unbelievable.
See,
but you know what? It's not all smiles though. I think I don't want to sound negative here or anything, but I think Ollie has to go. I think obviously I'm going to support him while he's in the job, but I just think some of the decisions he's made, and I just don't think he's the right man for the job. Now, if we go on and win the league, great, but I don't think we're going to win the league this season. But yeah, it's great to have Ronaldo back, but I just think Ronaldo's no good if we're not winning, if we're not fucking.
Seems to be a wee bit like Arsenal. Arsenal always just be very good till they got to the edge of the penalty area and then went to nothing.
Yeah,
chance after chance and no goals.
Yeah, it's annoying, but maybe we'll get it right. I don't know, but I just need to get that in about Ollie, and hopefully he's listening. Maybe he watches the show. I don't know. He might be having a look and
a job at Old Trafford.
Get his act together. Yeah.
That's your promoter then. Your promoter's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
He's watching the interviews and figured it out.
Yeah.
Always going into boxing management.
Yeah, he'd probably be a better boxing manager than he is a football manager. So
it's still, I think, still regarded. You still probably have to, we have to give him his dues. He won us the Champions League in '99.
He's never come out. I'll always looking for that, but like until he starts he starts showing me that he's tactically a right man for the job, I'm always going to be out on him. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see.
Who would you have in his place?
See, that's a hard question as well.
Yeah.
A couple of bit.
Because obviously now that Newcastle's, got new owners and stuff like that as well, they're probably, I wouldn't be surprised when after Mourinho, brought Mourinho back to England again. I don't think Mourinho seemed to have good time with Newcastle fans, so it'd be strange to see him at St James's Park. But it's like, who do you get to take the United job? It's always one of them. You're going, manager needs to go, and then it's the old argument comes back and going, well, who replaces him? It's.
Do you know who I'd love at United? But you're gonna call me mad because of his old toys. But I love Brendan Rodgers at United.
Don't know.
But obviously, he was a Liverpool manager.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think Brendan Rodgers is one of the best coaches in Europe, and I've always said that. The only thing is he doesn't really win anything. But I think tactically, we have the squad to win titles, but we just haven't got the right man tactically. And I think Rodgers is the man.
I think with teams he's always had, obviously Liverpool and things like that. It's sort of one of them where at Leicester he's probably seeming to come out a bit more because he only has to G up one or two really good players to play well. Whereas at United they all have to play well, sort of in a way because they're big stars. So
it is a different pressure, but I just think tactically he's very, very good, and based on what I've seen this season, Ollie has been tactically all over the place. And I think that's pretty much all we need. I think we need one or two more players and just a change in system or tactics and what flying. But I just don't think Ollie's capable of doing that.
I think it's the whole Van der Beek obviously not getting games and stuff as well. You're sort of going, why did they sign him? I think that that's
baffling to me.
They had the opportunity to get rid of him in the summer and bring in Camavinga, and they decided not to do that.
Look how well he's playing now at Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just some of the decisions have just been terrible. I mean, why he plays Fred every week? It's just beyond me. I mean, no disrespect. He's done jobs and all, but in the past, but why he plays Fred is just baffling to me. Like, we have a young fella along with James Garner.
It's the old mascot, Fred the Red.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I just think we've a young player out on loan now that's better than him. And James Garner, he won't play him. I don't know. I just give him his chance. I don't know. I'm not the manager, but if I was, Fred would be playing.
Particularly if you bring a young player in, it's sort of a team full of superstars. They're not going to look out of place.
Yeah.
Particularly in a centre defensive midfield position, sort of, play Van der Beek or obviously play, McTominay and Fred just seem to keep getting that role, and you're going, why?
Yeah,
try something different.
I just think Fred is just, man, he just seems to like Fred. Maybe he likes legs in midfield, but that's not good if there's no quality. Like, do you know what I mean? It's all well and good if running after players, but if you're not doing anything, what's the point? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll get it right.
Fingers crossed. But look, obviously, we'll end it there. Obviously, I think we probably turned people off about 5 minutes ago once we started speaking about United.
Yeah.
They just get
That's
obviously.
They won't get the views now.
Yep, but at least if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are watching it, he might share it somewhere and give us a few more views somewhere. But obviously, it's great to get another catch up again with you. You'll obviously not be another year older by the time we speak again. And hopefully, fingers crossed, you do get fight news for December, and obviously end the year with another one.
That's it, man. Please God, can I just shout out the sponsors?
Certainly, you can.
You helped with that. To be fair, I just want to say a big shout out to all my sponsors: iChrono, Positive Vibes Building, Vision Landscape Solutions, and Connolly Sports. So thanks for all the support, and it's not gone. It's been brilliant, and it's helped me with everything. So thanks very much.
Fantastic. And if anybody else is looking to come involved, they always have to send us 10%.
Absolutely.
You have to send us 10% of the sponsorship.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good wee joke we sort of have. I think I'd sort of said. Yeah. I think we'd sort of said last week. I think me and Christian were both ganging up on you, calling you a bully boy. On Facebook, but it's good that we can sort of have that bit of banter. Even interview.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
You just have to message and go, I want an interview, and that's it. You know, that's the way it sort of is, and it's the way I sort of am with
That's it,
everybody.
bro, yeah.
You know, it's giving everybody that voice and at a time they speak about boxing sometimes in the quiet times as well. You know,
That's
but
it,
look,
man.
but look, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You
Hopefully
too,
we'll look
brother.
forward to
God
hearing your
bless.
fight news soon. Cheers, mate.
Thanks very
Take
much,
care.
bro. Cheers,
Thanks. Bye
sound.
bye. Bye bye.